Come on in, pull up a chair, take a load off, because today I am going to be unboxing and taking a first look at the new edition of Navajo Wars from GMT Games. This is a new print run of the Joel Toppen design. I've always heard great things about this game, never had an opportunity to take a peek at it until now. So I'm pretty pumped, and I'm going to crack this open right after this. Howdy, 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 gang. Yes, I'm Jeff McAleer, back once again as your host here at the Gaming Gang channel. As I mentioned in the open, today I'm going to unbox and take a first look at the new edition of Navajo Wars from GMT Games. I do want to point out, I believe there are only a couple of very minor rule changes that have taken place in this new edition. This is essentially a new print run because there was so much demand to bring Navajo Wars back in front of the public, not because there were a bunch of rules that needed to be changed. As I mentioned, Navajo Wars is from GMT Games, designed by Joel Toppen, with artwork and graphic design provided by Edward S. Curtis, Donald Hegarty, and Roger B. McGowan. The game is for 1 or 2 players. It is a solitaire game. There are variant rules to make this a semi-co-op with another player. It is for ages 14 and up, plays in around 2 hours, and this edition carries an MSRP of $69. So let's swing on over to the other camera and take a look to see what's inside Navajo Wars. Here we've got Navajo Wars, a history of the American Southwest, 1598 to 1864. This is the second printing of Navajo Wars, which just arrived the other day, and I am excited because I never had an opportunity to check out Navajo Wars when it originally came out, which I want to say I think is 2013. So yes, the Gaming Gang was around and we were doing GMT stuff, but for some strange reason, we didn't get on board with Navajo Wars. So I'm excited because I've always heard really good things about this game. So let's get rid of some of this shrink wrap here. Not some of it. Let's get rid of all of the shrink wrap. And we see it says, Navajo Wars is a 1 to 2 player game which covers the amazing history of the Navajo people from their first encounters with European colonists until their brutal subjugation by the Americans. For over 250 years, the Navajo fought to preserve their way of life. Navajo Wars gives you a detailed look at this epic historic period from the perspective of the Dene, the Navajo people. All right, so it is a medium complexity and very high solitaire suitability because this is designed as a solitaire game, though you can play this as a 2-player game, and each of the players are actually directing individual tribes. So you've got a couple of tribes, as far as I understand. So, first off, let's see, we've got a draw bag. So, we've got the handy dandy draw bag here. We've got a couple of decks of cards, which might actually break out to be more than a couple of decks. We'll find out. Got some cubes. And we've got 3 different colored dice. So we've got those. So we've got the rules of play. So let's take a peek at these first. Cool, we got a playbook as well. As far as the changes to Navajo Wars for the second edition, I think there's only a couple of very minor changes. I might be wrong, but I thought they're just very, I don't want to say cosmetic, but they're not game-changing by any stretch of the imagination. So if you already have the first print run, I don't think there's really a cause for you to run out and get this new printing of Navajo Wars. That said, this has been out of print for a long time, so there are a lot of people out there who are really looking forward to getting their hands on Navajo Wars. So just kind of looking through rules here. Doesn't look like they're going to be really all that difficult to jump into because, well, we got 16 pages maybe of rules. Yeah, pretty much. 17. Nice. So I believe part of this is also that you're trying to develop the culture. So we've got different events that take place. We also have like cultural improvements that we can make as well. See, we've got these cultural development cards. Then we got battles. So consequences of victory and defeat. Talking about victory and defeat overall in the game as well. So we've got that. So pretty short, pretty easy to get into. We got a sequence of play on the back. It's got the playbook, which is going to be a bit longer, giving us a tutorial. Nice. I say it all the time whenever I'm doing unboxings of GMT games. I always read the playbook first because it just, for me, I find it makes just going through the rule book itself that much easier because I already understand some of the concepts of why these rules are in place. So as opposed to just reading a rule book, that can sometimes be kind of dry. So plenty of illustrations here. So it appears, yeah. So it's asking you, it's not just an example of play. This is a tutorial telling you, okay, set this stuff up, then stop. It's, okay, now do this, then stop. Okay. Wow, this is actually a pretty long tutorial. 17 pages. Very cool. Very nice. Then we got the different scenarios. Rise of the People. So this runs from 1598 to the mid 1700s. Okay. So we got the Lords of the Earth. It's from about 1598 to 1821. A Broken Country, 1821 to 1846. Oh, cool. We got some historical notes on the different scenarios. So this looks like this is the final years of the rope thrower is the final years of the Navajo Wars. So is there one that just runs the entire gamut? So this is until the middle of the 18th century. This is until 1821. This is 1821 to 1846. All right. Am I missing something here? Am I missing out? I don't know. Then we got the rope thrower. Okay. Then we got the two-player semi-cooperative variant. Got some optional rules down there as well. Then we got designer notes. Very cool. All right. We've got a flow chart here for enemy raids. Got a few different charts here. We got a tribal raid flow chart, and then an enemy raid flow chart. It's got some enemy instructions as far as summary. Here's our player aid card, which folds out. Talking about planning summary, passage of time, intruder counter effects, good medicine, trade goods. Talking about how to check for victory. Got a battle table as well, raid table, subjugation of New Mexico. Okay, so we've got that, and then it looks like we've got quite a few. I might be wrong, but well, I guess I am wrong. Most of this is being taken up by the mounted board. So we've got 1.5 counter sheets here. So it looks like quite a bit of this seems to be kind of informational. So we've got a variety of, looks like these are, could be like U.S. cavalry. And then we've got this counter sheet here. We've got intruder counters, which tells us what looks like what they are. Skinwalkers. Okay, that's that is a mythological thing. So kind of interesting. False rumors. Intruders moved. Got enemy raids. Okay, so we got all the different counters there. Then we got a mounted board, which is very interesting. I've seen this board before. Probably going to have a difficult time actually getting it into the shot here, getting the entire board. So we will kind of move the board around to get a better look. So if I remember correctly, yeah, it's laid out almost as if it's a map. Like someone had, created this map. So, well, maybe we will be able to get most of it in. Yeah, we'll be able to show this off. I'll have to move this around a little bit, but so here we go. Navajo Wars, a history of the American Southwest. So here we have the areas that the Navajo lived: Utah, Colorado, down in New Mexico and Arizona. So we seem to have kind of a path here with the different stones. We've got some turquoise. So we've got it's like one of these here. Santa Fe is kind of marked with this here. So we've got enemy out of play, subjugation of New Mexico, raided cubes, recovery. So we've got enemy instructions here. So enemy action points that are available to them. And it looks like different elders. So it looks like these are different. I'm going to take a guess. These are probably like you're kind of rolling to see who makes up these different groups in your tribe, or these are different tribes of the people or clans, whatever you want to consider them. So taking a guess, warriors. These are just kind of women and the elderly, probably, and then you've got children. So I'm taking a guess that might be what these track down here. And then looks like this might be a kind of a victory point tracker, or how close the victory you're getting to. So we have maximum military points during victory check segment, maximum culture points. But this is just a cool looking layout. It really is. This is a really cool looking layout here. So let's put that away, and then we will take a look at the decks of cards that we have. So, and of course, as I mentioned before, we had the 3 different colored dice. We've got the different cubes that represent various different things. I know a red cube, it says, if it's in New Mexico, it means you've subjugated New Mexico. So put those off to the side. Let's open these up. Okay, so kind of zoom in a little bit on these as well. So we can kind of get a better look at these. All right. And because this is not a camcorder I use, this is actually a mirrorless camera here. See if I can sharpen this up a little bit. I guess that's probably about as good as it's going to get, from what I can tell. All right, so what do we got here? So we got culture. So let's see what we got as far as. So these are culture cards. This looks like this is kind of a reference card. So, okay, so these are all culture. These are the play deck. These all play deck. Yeah, okay. So this is the headman enemy way table, and talks about the headman. It says, unless stated otherwise, the headman player has the final say over all decision making. Okay, so this is for when you're playing with the two players. That is what that no doubt must represent. So this is the play deck, which should have, I would think, like historical events, things like that. So we've got operations. So it's telling us we've got operations segment, major event segment, minor event segment. So it looks like we've got a drought. Firearms acquired is the major event. Operations. So this player may preempt for 3 action points. Enemy collects 2 action points if player preempts. Otherwise, 4 action points. Okay, so we've got these different items here. I thought for sure we would have seen some like historical events, but maybe not. So we have a ceremony, these ceremony cards. Got more of these operations cards. It says major event. If planning operation executed, draw 2 corn counters for people of the planted fields. Got another drought for a minor event. It's like a lot of droughts. More ceremony cards. Okay. So here we go. Major event. Apaches raid New Mexico. A few of these. Trappers and traders. A few of those. More ceremony cards. Pueblo revolt. Here we go. Okay, so now these look like these are kind of major events. It looks like you might make a victory check when these cards come up. So, got Pueblo revolt, Franciscan faction ascendant. So, of course, as a Navajo, you have to worry. You're messing around with the Spanish, Mexicans, Americans. So there's always somebody out against you. Settlers colonized New Mexico, Mexican independence, Santa Fe massacre. When the land is sick. Arbona's War, Army of the West. There we go. There's the U.S. Force Defiance and Fauntleroy. Death of Henry Lynn Dodge. The American Civil War. Kit Carson, the rope thrower. Which there was like a special section in the rules talking about that. So, got those. Then we got the culture cards. So it's weaving. Oh, we got different levels too. So no doubt we're going to actually probably have these set where we only have the level 1 to start off with, or we have to get it. You have to pay a culture point, it says. Horsemanship, cunning, religion, masters of the maces, sharp traders, warrior society, wisdom of the ancient ones. Cool. All right. So we've got the 2 different decks of cards. We've got the really cool mounted board. It just stands out. It looks so different. It looks very unique. We've got the headman card. Let's not forget that, right? We've got the 1.5 sheets of counters. We've got some player aids as well as flow charts. Got the playbook, rules of play. Put these cards into some baggies once I'm done with this video here. So we've got those cards. We've got the draw bag, which I believe we utilize with these. And we got the 3 6-sided dice. And that's what we find when we take everything from Navajo Wars, A History of the American Southwest, 1898. I should say 1598. What am I thinking? 1898. 1598 to 1864 from GMT Games. So let's head back on over to the other camera. So there is our unboxing and first look at Navajo Wars from GMT Games. As I like to point out with just about every GMT title, if you have interest in picking up this game, do it now, because the GMT print runs are not very big and their titles do sell out pretty quickly. Of course, I will have a review in the near future of Navajo Wars. So don't forget to catch me live right here on YouTube, Monday through Friday nights at 7 p.m. Central, as I bring you the latest tabletop gaming news with the Daily Dope. And of course, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a quick thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. And if you do, don't forget, ring that little bell, because it'll not only notify you when I upload a new video, such as this one, I'll also tell you when my stream goes live within about a minute or so. And of course, when you are not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. By now you know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer, and until next time, happy trails. Zoobity-bitty-bitty-boo-boo. Zoobity-bitty-bitty-boo. Zabba-dabba-dabba-dabba-bum. Zibbit. Whoa, hey. I didn't realize that you were still here. Well, if that's the case, then allow me to share the following information with you that I only have 20 seconds to do. So let's all take a deep breath. So, if you would like to subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel, please click right here. If you want to check out the latest episode of the Daily Dope, click right here. And if you'd like to check out a randomly selected standalone video, by all means, click right here. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer, and thanks for watching.